here.
Yeah.
Never heard of the bum.
Because we got to compete with his mink coat. Is that a mink there?
Yeah, I mean, this is mink. And by the way, if you're scoring at home, this is the 9th fur coat I've had over the years.
Really?
Yeah.
Does Pete ever get mad at you? Do they ever come up to you and harass you?
Oh, quite a bit, yes.
Yeah.
And I tell them, go have a prime rib, go have a cheeseburger.
Yeah, there you go.
So when we go out afterwards and somebody throws paint on that because you're wearing a mink coat, you just got another one in the closet that you can substitute.
Well, I have a couple of them in the closet, but to answer the obvious question, I don't wear them because of warmth. I began wearing them when I was 19 years old. Do you remember a black exploitation film called The Mac years ago, where the black dude had this long white rabbit fur coat?
So you're Shaft.
I thought that was the hottest thing in the world. And there used to be a place called Davis for Men, great clothing store on Well Street, and they had that coat. And I bought it. Imagine this. Now, this is like 1972. I bought it for $225.
Unbelievable.
That's it?
And it was a chick magnet.
Really?
Let me tell you, when I wore that in the female wing of Cook County Jail, they were all over me.
Yeah, right.
So
now, if you lend me your coat, since you go about a foot taller than I
Chester,
am, it'll just go all the way
lend
down
me
to my
your coat.
ankles. Yeah.
It'll go all the way.
Well,
Now-
if we take a team photo, this can cover.
Oh, that's right.
It'll
Well,
entire-
we will take a picture after the show and we will tweet it out.
And you're wearing your
Put it on
orange,
Facebook.
your orange shirt underneath that in honor of the Chicago Bears. And you
Actually, Bruce, I woke up so damn early this morning, I have no idea what the hell I'm wearing.
well, it worked. It worked. So the Bears are now playoff bound. I don't know what I picked.
It's
them.
called the North Division
Come on,
Champs.
honestly, you thought they'd win 5 games this year, right, Chet?
4 or 5 games tops. Yeah, I
Well,
really guessed wrong.
But didn't Matt Nagy come out and say, we're not going to win this year? I mean, we're not going to go. Or was that last year? No, this is his
that
first
was
year.
last year with John Fox, whose idea of a great ad lib was, next question.
That's not bad. It's not bad. It's very Belichickian. So has Trubisky arrived, and I bring up this one play. The Packers are dropping 6 back in coverage, okay? So they're challenging him to throw, and he hits Trey Burton. I mean, does that mean he's arrived, or he's still making too many mistakes?
Well, he's still making youthful mistakes, but I will say this much: under Nagy, his progress this year has been extraordinary. Then again, he finally has some weapons to throw to. Tariq Cohen, who
Cohen. Sorry.
what did I
You
say?
said Cohen. It's all right.
All right, Amy, that's
I'm sorry.
one
for-
Jacobson, 0 Coppock, 15:35 left in period
I don't
number
mean
1.
to correct you, but we just went over his name because he's going to the Pro Bowl. And he's on my
Chet,
fantasy
you still know
football
all the
team.
uniform numbers like I do?
Oh
You
my
know, the
gosh.
first time you and I ever got together on radio,
Do you remember that? I
you
remember
asked me.
that.
Yes, I do. It was 1981. We were at some dive bar. I think
You
over
were
on
at a
Irving Park
bar?
Road.
Right. Probably a Nicky
Joe's.
Chevrolet
Chicago
45.
Joe's.
I think we were at Nicky Chevrolet 45.
Is that the
45
one on
West
beautiful Irving Park Road?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
And then
We're
we did,
anxious to see you.
yes, we know all the numbers.
Well, the first number you gave me was 48.
Sure.
And you and Andy Livingston, and I said Vic
Yeah.
Zucco. Now,
Right.
Zucco played in 1955.
Well, yeah, because you go further back than
Well, I do. I go further back than George Hallis.
Well, you've been to like 68 consecutive home openers.
68 consecutive Chicago Bears home openers. And if my ex-wife, Anna Marie Buzalaki,
No wonder she
I think I got
divorced
that
you.
right. I mean, I missed on going, but I think I got that one right.
You got the
Okay.
name of your ex.
She would tell you that shows how limited my life really has been.
Why? It's
Aw.
consistent.
Yes, it
You're
is
consistent.
So
Well-
do you think the Bears have it this year to go back to a Super Bowl? I mean, it's been what?
Amy,
Since
may God strike me
2007?
dead. A month ago, I wouldn't have said this if you put a knife to my throat. Defense travels. Defense wins on the road. This club is very good. This is the kind of ball club that if you can avoid turning over the football could stun not only this community but stun the National Football League, because I really believe if you look at their defense, and Khalil Mack
Oh, he's amazing.
is the biggest steal arguably in National Football
He made
League
a
history.
sack with his tuchus.
No, with his back.
Yeah.
Well, it was,
yes.
he had 2.5
Chet
sacks
and I
last
speak
game.
Yiddish to each other.
No, but he had 2.5 sacks, and I thought the half of the sack was when he
Bruce,
fell
I
back
thought it was
and
a
knocked
mitzvah.
over the.
You make a sack with your tuchus, it's a mitzvah.
But he fell back into Aaron Rodgers, and that
he
was
fell
half
back.
a sack.
I don't even think he fell back.
I
I
don't
think
even
he
think he meant to do it.
deliberately took him down with his back. Leonard Floyd had maybe the best game he had this year. Is he coming around, or are they learning how to use him because he's kind of a freak of nature and he can't really bowl over the opposing lineman. But if they play a game with him and he uses his speed, he can get to the runners and the
I was
quarterbacks.
shocked that Leonard was chosen a Pro Bowl alternate because that's really he's not that good.
People were talking about getting rid of him. Now he's
exactly. Yeah, I mean he began this year as something of a will he be around for the third year type of football player. That being said, he had 2 sacks in the fourth quarter, but at that point, Aaron Rodgers had no run game, no offensive line. He's down. He had to throw. So he got what they call in the trade garbage sacks. That being said, I got to tell you, his potential is off the charts.
So, and you mentioned that Rodgers was down and the Packers were
Amy,
down.
we're going to get to the fashion part of our show in about 5 minutes.
No, I'm listening. I
already
watch
did the
football.
fur coat. So
my son plays football. I know a little bit more
So
than
you had
think.
the Packers down 6 defensive players or whatever. I mean, they're decimated. They got a new coach. Some people are saying, okay, yeah, the Bears covered the spread and everything, but are we getting ahead of ourselves a little bit about this team?
Bruce, great point, because my next book is going to be on Dennis McKinnon.
Oh, it is.
The most underrated player in
Little
Chicago
number
Bears
85.
history. Yeah,
Silky D.
It's called Bad to the Bone, The Football Life of Dennis McKinnon. It'll be out in July. It's available on Eckhart's Press.
Wow.
Or you can call me at my home number. I don't care.
And I'll give you a copy. So this is your current book, Your Dime, My Dance Floor, Chet Coppock, In Pursuit of Chet Coppock. I love the way that you did that. Your fourth book?
Fifth.
Fifth book. And how is this one different than the other ones? I know you teamed
this
up
one
with...
is actually selling, Amy.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Which makes it the most remarkable book.
So this
I've
is
ever
kind of
written.
like Gibbon's decline and fall of the Roman Empire. It's
Well,
like
'cause
10 volumes.
I read your
listen,
first book,
Listen,
Chet Coppock.
my fall of the Roman Empire happened 30 years ago. You see, I like being in a joint like this early in the morning because it reminds me of when I was making real money.
Sure. Me too. We have that in common.
Your first, how is this different from your first book? Because I actually read your first book, Chet Coppock, Laying It on the Line. I do believe that was the...
Well, this book, Amy, was written kind of on the spur of the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I sat down one day, and I loved to write. When I was very young, my initial ambition was not to be a sportscaster. It was to be a sports writer.
Wow.
And when I was 7, 8 years old, my dad would have the Tribune and the Sun-Times in the morning, the Daily News and the American at night. And I was galvanized by people like Dave Condon and John Carmichael and Jack Griffin and people like that. I really want Royko.
Yeah.
You know, I was crazy about Royko. I wanted to be Royko, but the fact is God couldn't be Royko, as far as I'm concerned. With all due respect to God.
Sure.
Who, by the way, took Green Bay and the points.
Stupid God.
But I sat down and I began to write, and I wrote the first chapter in the book is kind of surrealistic, and you have to have some imagination. My dad scored 4 front row tickets, this is in the late 1950s, for a White Sox-Yankees doubleheader at Old Comiskey Park.
Wow.
My mom went, she could care less, and my uncle was a big baseball fan. And I will never forget as Mickey Mantle came out of the dugout
Good old
to
number
the
7.
on-deck circle.
Sure.
Good old number 7.
Yeah.
The Mick, here is this Adonis from Oklahoma who is so good-looking, so stunning, so physically appealing. He makes Brad Pitt look like Wolfman Jack.
Really?
And I remember the look on my mom's face.
When she saw him, was she interested in baseball then?
She ran out onto the on-deck circle.
No, what she did was she said, Mick, the hell with the ball game. Let's go to the Palmer House and get loaded.
Well, those are the kind of anecdotes that we need to populate.
Yeah,
a book.
I mean,
Yes,
I
get
talk
it.
about wrestling Victor the Bear 3 times. I talk about the formation of my personality on air, off air, which is very much that of Jack Brickhouse, Brent Musburger, the roller derby,
Sure.
which I broadcast for
What was
3
Joni
years.
Weston's number? So,
53.
okay. I don't remember. Here's one thing that you were a pioneer on. People don't recognize this. So, Amy, they used to use film to cover ball
I'm
games
familiar
and things
with
like
film.
that.
I had to
this
splice
thing
film
comes
once on an
this
audio track.
technological development comes along called the minicam.
Yeah.
And Chet's the first guy to really take advantage of it in the sportscasting sense. You'd go into the beer games, into the locker room after the game, interview everyone like you were taking their depositions, that like it was the Vietnam War that you were covering. And nobody else did that. And then everybody copied that. Everybody started saying,
I didn't know
we're
that.
going to interview everybody in the Bears locker room and treat it, like this is hard news. And you did that.
Amy, here's your headline for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Shortly before his death, Coppock had been described as a trailblazer by veteran radio and TV star Bruce
Well,
Wolf.
I'm going to write the
But by the way,
posthumous-
if you're in need of legal help, don't call Howard, call Bruce.
Right. So yeah, can you get me Javi Baez to do a spot
I really
for me?
dig Howard. He's cool.
Oh my gosh. Do your Chet Coppock impersonation.
I don't know
Oh,
what
my
you're
God.
talking
Oh, my
about.
God.
I have
You know,
no idea.
Chet-
Do you know?
Chet.
Do you know how much mileage over the years I got out of?
And
Chet,
you never
Chet,
given
Chet?
me one dime for
Oh
that.
my, it's not
True.
about. Why don't you read a food for the poor? Read and chit chat. Here you go. Here you go.
The one you did that I love was we're talking Gian, we're talking Greco, we're talking Greco-Roman wrestling.
You do it in a Chet Chit Chat voice.
Oh, I could never do it.
Am I putting you guys on the spot right now? Is this uncomfortable?
Just read the business benefit
Read the
program
business benefactor. No, we're not handing him the business benefactor. Really? All right.
Do it as
All right,
Chet
we have a
Chit Chat.
special program for business owners or anyone involved in marketing a business. It's called our Business Benefit Program. You hear what I'm talking about? With this program, any business that makes a $2,500 tax-deductible donation to to Food for the Poor, will receive 40 60-second commercials
We're talking-
Monday through Friday.
Come on,
We're
give me
talking 5
something.
a.m.
Yeah,
through
yeah,
8 p.m.
yeah.
We're talking AM 560.
Yeah.
We're talking The Answer. We're not talking about the other palookas. We're talking about The Answer. For a business that wants to be involved in this program, here's how they can do so as I pass it on to my good friend, Chet Chet Chat.
Yeah, chit chat.
Call Anjanette Netkowski directly at 847-472-8951. I'm stuck. And ask for the Business Benefactor Program. Visit 560theanswer.com and searching for the keyword food. That's lobotomy load on sports.
Thank you.
I owe Chet Coppock my career.
Where's our clap line? All right.